losing 149 bucks trading silver and meta. We have a trade recap today. I'm going to do a 2-for-1 because technically one of these trades should not have happened. And I'll explain why. So let us get into it. We're going to cover the meta trade first, which we lost 70 bucks on. And then the silver trade we lost about $79 on, technically. And that gets you to 149.35. So if I pull up meta, here's what I see on meta's big picture chart, right? Been strong the past couple of days. We have technically the gap down began from 484, but if you look back to the left, you can target like this low right here. So we're kind of at an area of interest. However, I saw this room up here. So I'm like, hey, if we can break above this, 473, 474, we have a good maybe a room up to 485 or so, 480, low 480s. That was the idea. And so here's the trade. This was kind of a set and forget, but also I did move the stop briefly once we entered. So I played it on the breakout. I got it on the breakout candle right here, which ended up panning out fine. We had high volume. Everything was good. Everything kind of met the criteria. Looking for exactly, perfectly, beautifully. And a nice push, and then it stopped right around 475.50, and my target was 477 and change, roughly, which would have been about a 2-to-1, just about, actually a bit more. But my initial stop was under this low. I then quickly moved it up to under this low on the breakout, which is hence the red line right here. It's pretty much exactly where it was. And then we pushed up, pulled back, and it looked like, okay, we're going to consolidate here. And then eventually, and it just didn't work. I could have exited, to be honest, somewhere in here. I could have exited here. I could have moved my stop to break even. Because if at that point, right, we had now 20, 30 minutes of it just not going for it as it comes back down. Momentum is clearly not there, so it's not gonna work, right? So I could have mitigated this to make a break-even trade if I really wanted to. So that's like, I guess, the one mistake. I don't even call it a mistake. Technically, it's not really a mistake. I didn't mistakenly execute my strategy. No, I did exactly what I'm supposed to do. And essentially, the stop loss moved up, and then we had this nice breakdown, and then it ended. That's it. So that was the trade there. We have also a silver trade. This one, I'm going to tell you right now, I should not have actually entered. So here's silver's 5-minute consolidation that I have in a order, which I may cancel because we actually look like we're going to be weak right now. We're pretty weak. And the trade is simply this on the breakout. I have a buy stop order set. And if silver breaks out, I'm going to go to my charts here in TradingView. If silver were to break out over these highs, we go. Here's the problem. When I went to enter this order in, for example, let's see if I can edit this. I went in and went with a buy. I set a stop order, but I did not change the stop price. So it was whatever it had up there already, which was around where the current price was. I then go in, I edit my stop loss and take profit for like a roughly a 2-to-1, which is pretty much where these numbers are. And I click on send order. The problem was I didn't set my buy stop to be at the breakout or above the highs. I set it to be where it was pretty much where price was currently trading. So then I saw, or the trade went through, and I was like, oh shit. And then immediately we took an L. So that was a mistake on my part. That should not have happened in the first place, but it did. So the trade, technically speaking, should not have happened, but obviously I'm not going to, I can't hide the trade, right? The trade is a trade. So the current account balance realized is 26,161. But technically, based off my current open position, which it is on, I have an open position on silver. We're at 26, just under 26,300, and we're waiting on silver to make a move. And whenever it does, if either we move down or we move up, we're going to get stopped or we're going to hit our take profit on it. But it was a swing trade to begin with, so that was the current position on silver. But I added the second one on the 5-minute time frame that technically should never have actually gone through, but it did because I was a dumbass. And that's my bad. But that's also something to pay attention to. Now that that's happened, it probably will not happen again for a very, 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 very long time. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. But again, as long as you're, you make a mistake like that, but don't let that mistake snowball into 2, 3, 4, or just a larger mistake where I could have said, you know what, I'm not going to respect my stop, or I could have said some shit. In this case, when I entered the order, I put a take profit and a stop, and I kind of closed the page out, and that's it. And it just so happened that it filled, and then it immediately broke down and technically stopped me out, even though I never should have been in the first place. Because again, I'm waiting for the trigger, which would be above like these highs, and we never broke those highs, right? It never happened. So that was the deal on silver. That's the deal on Meta. Technically speaking, we were up $25 in the month of May, but those are the trades. Now, you can go back in here. We lost 58 on one account, 21 on another account, because that was the trade copier. So we have the parent account, which is the 26K account, and then we have the like 6K account, or like $5,800 account, which is the smaller account that takes positions that are like 30% or 35% of the sizing I take here. So that's the deal. We have 2 open positions, silver and a Home Depot, which is currently just banging around. Home Depot is not really doing much, so we're waiting on that. But I'll probably likely be I'll be out by the end of the week or by Monday the latest, depending on how we close on that. I've moved my stop to break even on Home Depot, so we can't lose on it at this point. So really, it's been the past couple of days. I mean, I look around and I'm like, yeah, I'm not loving these setups, and so there's some setups here and there, and the meta trade was a very good one, by the way. The meta trade was a really good one. You're looking at the strongest stock on the day on my list, my usual suspect list, and it had a beautiful breakout. Just the breakout didn't sustain itself, and that's it. So sometimes it happens. There's nothing you can do, and I don't really care. I mean, if it worked, it worked. If it didn't work, it didn't work. And in this case, it didn't work. I had a little slight, maybe, sense that it wasn't going to work just because of I haven't traded these very, very much. I don't love stocks that have gap downs after earnings and then trading them within a couple of weeks. It's like you technically are still relatively weak, although it's been strong the past couple of days, so it changed my mind. And obviously, price action as of late changed my mind. But that's that. That's a trade recap. I'll leave a link to TradeZilla below where I track all this. And there's a decent chance that once I close out of my positions on silver, I will be transitioning out of this platform and over to Trade Locker. So we're going to see how that works, because Trade Locker could be pretty cool. They've got an app, which is awesome. Can't wait to use the app, because then I'm going to be trading on the go. Maybe more if I just set buy stops, you know what I mean, when I have alerts go off. So that's the deal. Peace. See ya.